My name's James Benning. I live a little bit north of Los Angeles in a very small town called Valverde. I have three pieces here. One is a showing of a new film called Nightfall, which is an hour and a half piece or a little longer, shot in the Sierra Nevadas at late in the day where there's sunlight and it goes till it's dark. Nothing moves in the shot except light itself. So it's a study of both light and then also sound and how sound changes during that hour and a half from going to daytime to nighttime. And then I have two installations that are almost site-specific for this place because they're about industry and about hard work. And one is a two-screen installation. One of the screens was shot in Duisburg in 2011, and the other one was from a piece of film I shot in Milwaukee in 1971, so they're 40 years apart. And it compares those two places and also the two kinds of film, 16 millimeter and then high definition. One is real time, and the Milwaukee piece is a 14-second piece of film that's been slowed down to 31 minutes. So it's kind of something you experience. There's only sound with the Duisburg side, but it folds into the Milwaukee side and very much works with that image also. And then the other installation was a six-screen installation of a film that I've been making since 1977 when I made One Way Boogie Woogie, which was 61-minute shots. And then in 2004, I reshot that film and used the same camera positions and found the same people that I had 37 years earlier. And then just this past year, I went back and I shot it in high definition. The other two films are in 16 millimeter. And I found only 18 locations and made the shots longer for 5 minutes. And rather than having it a film, it's installed. So you see 6 images at a time. Then they change after 5 minutes. You see 6 more images. Then they change. And then you see 6 more images. And then it keeps going, but they kind of slide over, so you get different combinations of those 18 images. And it provides a kind of industrial landscape in both sights and sounds. And it's another piece to be experienced, to spend time and to walk around and to look at different points of view of those 6 images. The experience has been tremendously different over the 40 years that I've been making the film now, and mainly that's in kind of just politics, the way sites were accessible in 1977 and almost impossible to get to now with fences around them. You have to get permission or sneak in, and so it was much more challenging. Each time I made the film, it got more difficult to make. And then, of course, industry in Milwaukee was decaying, and those neighborhoods were being ripped down and gentrified, and a different kind of industry moved in, a cleaner industry. But it went through some decay to begin with, so there's signs of poverty, and that gets replaced by the changing economic climate, where they try to rework these landscapes into something successful again. My work from the very beginning has always been invested in looking and listening, and I've always believed that to learn anything, it takes time, and that means that one has to practice paying attention. And so my works provide that experience for an audience where they can pay attention to things. I think as theater pieces, they're perhaps a little more demanding, and there's a stronger contract with the audience, where an audience comes in and sits and watches the whole hour and a half film from beginning to end. Where in installation works, that's all, duration is always up to the audience. But I'm hoping that the installations are provocative enough to challenge viewers to stay and experience duration. But that's different in the gallery situation. That's the kind of attention all art demands, really, that you pay close attention and give to it, and not like entertainment that gives to you and you don't give much to it, and then you leave the experience and it disappears quite quickly because you really had no intellectual response to what you've seen or participated in. But if you're actually participating in it and working hard, and I think one has to work hard when they go to my works, even though I think by the end, if you do, it's enjoyable. It shouldn't be painful. But sometimes learning is painful, and it takes some time to understand that. And then once you get back past that, I think it gives back quite readily. And at this point in my career, I have generated enough audience that at least I have a following that knows how to go in and look at my work. Sometimes at festivals, that'll be frustrating because there'll be people shopping to look for what they might like, and they don't give much, and then they leave very quickly. But the nice thing about showing here, I've never shown here before. A number of people know my work from reading about it, and there's excitement that way, and some have seen it outside of this area. But I'll probably gain a nice new audience from being here, so I really appreciate that. And what I've experienced in this part of the country is a really kind of positive feeling already from people that I've met, a very genuine kind of connection that seems very real to me, and very genuine. So I'm hoping I get to meet my audiences afterwards. I approach sound very much like I approach picture. That is, they're an integral part together. Sometimes I do make silent works because I realize silence is sound too, and it can suggest sound. But I very much, especially in the works where I look and listen, want to capture the feel of place, and that means that I sometimes both manipulate sound and image to make it feel more like how I felt when I was in that place, because you can always get extraneous noises, or something can come into the frame that you don't like that disrupts the real feel of that place. So I'm not against any kind of manipulation of sound and image, but mostly when I do that, it's to make it even more real than less real. But I'm not against other people using sound to become surreal or hyper-real or whatever they want to do with that. That's the nice thing about it. Being an artist, you have that choice. And, I choose to try to have experiences and then give those experiences back. I love film, and I will never go back to it, and that's mainly because I always worked in 16 millimeter, and that's pretty much gone. It's hard to get good lab services. It's hard to get good projection. As far as doing 35, I think that's going to be gone soon too. So I'd rather not try to invest in that kind of money to make pieces. And now that I own my own high definition equipment, it's almost costless for me. Just the cost of a sandwich and some gasoline, and I can make a film. So until, of course, the equipment breaks or becomes obsolete because of new equipment, which is a foreseen cost to come. But at the moment, I probably can work for another 2 years with the equipment I have and not spend any money. So that's, well, that's nice.